this is my tomato experiment. It's a green tomato that I accidentally ended up with. So it's an experiment because I don't know if this bucket will work the way it's set up. It was set up to grow pepper plants, which I guess I could have planted some of my peppers in it. I didn't really think about it until just the other day. But 3 years ago, we were given 2 pepper plants in these buckets. These buckets were just buckets from the local bakeries in town or restaurants where they got, one of them is an icing bucket or they could be pickle buckets, but they were just 3-gallon buckets that this guy had went around town with. So it's 2 buckets and one's got holes drilled in it in a circular pattern to drain down into the second bucket, and it's also got this PVC pipe where you can dump water down and get water into the bottom bucket, and the roots will grow down there and get that water. And as you can see on this one, it's got a drain hole where I filled it with too much water and it's coming out. So I know these work really well for peppers, but I'm not sure it's big enough to hold a tomato plant. But this is pretty low stakes. I mean, the tomato plant did cost me $3, but I don't like green tomatoes. We have grown several varieties over different years of green tomatoes, and we just have never found a green tomato that we've liked. So it's pretty low stakes, because I would have just either given this away or I probably would have given it away, and I still might give it away. But so this is our tomato experiment for this year. One of our tomato experiments for this year. So today I am planting basil. I'm not sure exactly if this is going to work because I've had some problems with bugs eating in this bed, but I'm going to try it. I love basil. So, as we've showed before, we've put a layer of grass clippings in this new bed that we built to create a weed barrier, which is working fairly well. As you can see, there's really not any weeds except for growing up where we left room for the strawberry plants. So I'm just going to make a trench in this back here, like that, and I'm going to take some of the soil so I'm going to take some of the soil here and just put it in that trench that I just created. And then I'm gonna plant my basil in this. Now I have 5 different kinds of basil today. So I'm gonna plant like them in sections here. The first section I'm gonna plant is some, it's gonna be lime basil. These are only supposed to be planted 1/4 of an inch deep. So what I'm going to do is just sprinkle them on top. And then put some soil over top of that. And what I'm picking out here is just trash. This mulch, or this dirt that we have, is from a nearby town that they go around and collect wood chip or limbs from the residents and then mulch it, put it through a mulcher. But it creates a lot of trash, little bits of plastic and styrofoam. So I'm just gonna lightly sprinkle some of the soil over top, and then that'll be, I'm gonna call that good enough for this first section here. I'm excited to get my basil because I really love fresh basil. I'll come back and for you it'll only be a few seconds, but I'll be back in a minute and I'll show you the final result. So Nathan and I talked it over, and seeing how bad these cabbage plants are eaten, I'm just gonna pull them and plant basil over here. I mean, it's really too bad that they got that much damage, but live and learn, especially when it comes to plants. It's not the end of the world. So I'm going to finish pulling those plant basil there. So I just planted lemon basil. That was the fourth one I planted. I didn't end up planting any holy basil out here. But I've got lime basil, dark oval basil, a big section of Genovese basil because I know that we will. Okay, I got lime basil on the first end, and I got dark opal basil, a big section of Genovese basil, and then I just got done planting lemon basil. I'm really hoping this works, but it's an experiment, like everything that I do.